O great one who summons me, I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes 3. I'm kidding. Watch this.
Watch out! You done wound me up. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
I was able to get a special pre-screening of Aladdin last night. I can say it was well worth the time I had to spend in line to get in, because this movie was amazing. I've been a huge fan of Guy Ritchie for a while, and this is definitely one of his best movies. I mean, there's no such thing as a bad movie from this director, but you know, this is definitely his trademark, especially the fast-paced action scenes. You know, the way he does those are very much him, and it shows through in a lot of this movie. You know, the chase scenes, the action scenes, those are all, you know, very quick cuts. You know, they're all very similar. That was really good. So I know the biggest question everyone's mind is, how is Will Smith as the genie? He is fantastic. I think Robin Williams would definitely be proud of his performance, because he lovingly pays tribute to what came before and also kind of does his own thing, and he is by far the best part of this movie. He's just so good. And it's interesting because they actually expanded upon the story a little bit more, and they filled in some of the plot holes that I didn't think were plot holes, and then when they explained them in the movie, I went, oh yeah, that is a problem with the animated movie. For example, how does nobody recognize Aladdin when he's a prince, even though they previously met? And he explains, oh, well, it's genie magic. They don't recognize you because that's part of the spell, which, and I kind of figured that out, but it's glad they clarified that for this. So the one complaint I do have was the casting of Jafar. He was not terrible, but he wasn't nearly as big of a threat as he could have been. He wasn't nearly scary enough as he could have been. I feel Jafar was a little miscast. That was the problem. So, yeah, but everyone else really did a great job, and they actually added a couple more songs, a couple more characters that weren't in the original. And they expanded upon Jasmine's character. She is not just like this one-dimensional character whose sole purpose of being in the movie is to be the love interest for Aladdin. No, she's actually got her own story arc, her own character development. That was really good. The sets in this movie are amazing. The costumes, everything about this movie is just so good. And, you know, they actually kind of... The story is different enough that it's not watching the original again, but it's also not too different that it completely messes it up. Like with Dumbo, that was way too different. That was an example of how to do it wrong, because they were being inconsistent with Dumbo. They went, okay, here's that scene you liked from the original. Oh, but this is different. Oh, but there's new. This is different. They didn't really know what they wanted that movie to be, I don't think. But this movie knows what it wanted to be right from the get-go. It knows exactly what it's doing right from the opening scene. And it was kind of cool how they kind of change the story around a little bit. Like, Aladdin meets Jasmine within, like, the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like, there's the opening credits, and then there's the first scene with Aladdin, and that's where he meets Jasmine. So, and she actually ends up being part of the chase scene for the One Jump Ahead song. She actually ends up being part of that sequence, which I thought was kind of an interesting way of doing it. And they switched around some of the songs a little bit, like the reprise of One Jump Ahead doesn't come until, like, almost the end of the movie, even though in the original it's, like, first 10 minutes. So it's kind of cool they did that. The CGI in this movie is really good. I know everyone was concerned about Will Smith Blue Genie, but I think it's because it looks bad because you're watching it on something that's not a movie screen. It looked fine to me. It didn't look off. It didn't look scary or anything. It was actually pretty good. What else? So, yeah, I mean, the CGI for the tiger, for the monkey, everything about it was pretty good. Man, the songs were just so enthralling. I have not been this engaged in a movie in a long time, since maybe Avengers. But I mean, like an actual, like, non-superhero movie, I have not been engaged in this movie. I've not been engaged in a movie like this for a while. So I'd say, you know, okay, also, my screening was in 3D. Don't see it in 3D. I mean, I'm in no place to complain because my screening was free. But you are probably going to be paying for your screening, I'd assume. In fact, you probably will be paying for your screening. If you have the option to see it in 3D, do not go in 3D, because it added nothing. After the first, like, minute of the movie, I forgot I was watching it in 3D. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is the one movie where it's like the 3D is like, I mean, I don't see a whole lot of movies in 3D. The only one I've seen in 3D this year, besides this one, was Alita. And that was only because it was a James Cameron movie, and that was an example of 3D, right? This was not. But, okay, so like I said earlier with Will Smith, everyone did such a great job in this movie, but Will Smith just is the best part of the movie. I know a lot of people were really skeptical because he has some big shoes to fill. But I was not skeptical. I went, a lot of people forget that Will Smith started out as a comedy star, as a comedian and a rapper. And it's definitely a throwback to his Fresh Prince days. And everyone thinks of him as an action star now because Independence Day is the one that skyrocketed him to action star status. And that's kind of what he's been doing ever since, with maybe a couple of exceptions and then maybe some dramas. But you gotta remember, he started out doing comedy, and it really shows. It really shines through. He's really good. He does, some fourth wall breaks. He does some, really quick wit. It's interesting that with some of the songs, some of the lyrics got changed. Because in my head, it was singing along, in my head, not in the theater, because that's rude. In the theater, singing along, but I went, wait, that's not how the song goes. They changed some lines. But some lines were actually kind of funny. I don't know if it was, the way they were delivered or the way that it was just kind of unexpected. But those were good. And I like the Speechless song as well, because it kind of is the trope. It's not really poking fun at the trope of the Disney princesses having no character, at least the early ones. It's not necessarily poking fun at that, but it is kind of calling it out without calling it out and saying that's not what we're doing. We're doing something completely different with the way we're doing Jasmine. So yeah, I think this is actually really good. Go see it on opening weekend. If you can't see it opening weekend, then at least go on $5 Tuesday. But don't wait for Netflix. Don't wait for the Blu-ray. This actually is worth seeing, I'd say. So I really enjoyed Aladdin. It was a fun, magical experience. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Lion King. Hopefully Lion King's good. I'm crossing my fingers.